Now look, it's no secret, 2.2 will be the biggest thing that ever happened to Geometry Dash. We all know this. It's coming sometime in November and everyone is freaking out trying to prepare for what's to come, and honestly, I get it. So let me help you out. If you're a layout creator or even a decorator who would like to be a better layout creator going into 2.2, then this video is for you. Also remember, if you enjoy and you'd like to watch more of my content, especially going into 2.2, you should totally consider subscribing. I post tons of videos like these, I stream, post shorts, and hang out a ton in my Discord server helping you guys out. It's a great time over there. But let's get right into it. I cannot stress this enough to all of you guys. We cannot be making the same mistakes that we did in 2.0 and 2.1. Like 7 years ago, we got introduced to the move trigger, and for the first couple of months of that update being out, it absolutely plagued the feature tab with completely unfun and completely unreadable levels. Like, dude, looking back at it, I can honestly only laugh. Like, how did we think that this was okay? I have no clue. Of course, there will be tons of levels like this happening once 2.2 comes out anyway, but you're watching this video so that you can improve. The goal is to not let go of all of the things that you've learned and collected throughout the years from 2.1 while just adding on to it with our new features from 2.2. So the first thing to remember, you always want your levels to be readable first. 2.2 will give us a ton of new range for how we can move the icon in the editor, whether it be going backwards, slowing down time, or even making uneven duels. The possibilities are endless. It might feel really compelling to just go and make the craziest warped time gravity backwards gameplay, but if you're going to do this, you can't forget that this is a project that hopefully people are going to play or even decorate. On the other hand though, for layouts that aren't meant to be played, remember that all the layout concepts that make those visually interesting, like flow, song representation, as well as sync and various other implemented gimmicks, are all still viable ideas and helpful tools to bring you into your 2.2 projects. It's extremely important that you don't shake on these fundamentals. As for all creators, it will be what makes or breaks your ability to rise or stay at the top of the creating scene. But that also brings us right into our next lesson. So let's talk about experimenting and how much you really should be doing it. I completely understand 2.2 is like being a little kid at the candy store with infinite money. Everyone is gonna want to try everything and do everything, and I'm not gonna stop you from trying to do that. But I am going to ask one thing of you. If you're going to experiment with a new concept, try your best to analyze its usefulness before just keeping it for the sake of it being new. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of concepts in the GD editor, even in 2.1, that are doable, but they either aren't viable for an actual playable level or have better alternatives. So although they got used in that time, we eventually found that they weren't that good and they fell into obscurity. Like, as a really funny example, did you know that if you make a swing copter and use blue pads instead of blue orbs, you now get this interaction where the gravity is way less than usual? It's awesome and completely useless. Or like, how about using the animate trigger, for example? Like the default monsters haven't even been actively used in years, let alone the one trigger that makes them move in different ways or stay still completely. But okay, I am being a little bit dramatic. I'm not assuming that you guys are gonna come up with ideas that are that crazily boring. But the idea is still there. Because when you think about it, some concepts are just temporary spectacles that aren't actually that good. And most other concepts are actually not that great until they have multiple iterations done to it to make it better over time. So think of new crazy ideas, try new things. I absolutely will encourage all of you to branch out with new stuff, but make sure it's actually useful and it adds to your project's overall quality. To be a little more direct with you guys, to give some more specific suggestions on what I would say you should do going into 2.2, I'll say this. For example, the ability to move sideways with all game modes. I can see in many ways how that can work well and be cool. However, we need to be cognizant that players have literally only played the game horizontally for the past 10 years. So when you make vertical gameplay, try to make gameplay that can still be picked up pretty smoothly for whatever difficulty you're going for. Like an easy demon should probably have, say, like 8 to 9 star gameplay in the sideways sections, at least until the player base has caught up with the new norm. It's the same as the mirror portal, which even to this day players complain about or outright disable due to their lack of experience in the game mode. This brings us to another interesting point that I'd really like to share with you guys as well. To help make composition and level design easier for you with your layouts, I highly recommend at least having an intermediate understanding of decoration itself. In the last few years, the creating community has split the layout and decoration side of creating apart quite harshly as two separate art forms, whereas in reality, it takes proficiency in both to really excel in either of them. Personally, I've been decorating for about 8 years and making layouts for about 6, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that whilst I made progress in decoration, I almost immediately saw an improvement in my layout capabilities. And it doesn't only apply to me either. Most of the top layer creators in the history of Geometry Dash were or are decorators. It gives you a lot more insight on composition, overall pacing, and the flow of your project, as well as giving you a wider range of creative possibilities as your head isn't only thinking in default blocks, but also in broader concepts. It'll allow you to make gimmicks and come up with cleaner ideas as well. So yeah, definitely try to learn decoration in some capacity. The styles that you choose to pick up doesn't matter so much, I don't think, as really any style can be helpful to gameplay creation. However, I would suggest finding a decoration style for yourself that fits with your style in making gameplay, so that you're always working hand in hand with both aspects instead of fighting against it. It's like when you join a mega collab and the layout part you're building onto just has the perfect structures and ideas for you specifically, so the decoration is a breeze. The best example that I can really think of for this is ZeroSR. If you look at his YouTube channel, you can see the layouts for some of his biggest projects, and on the surface they look really basic. But he has a vision, and he creates his layouts with that vision in mind. Now, his style and gameplay creation perfectly matches his vision with decoration, and his decoration never exceeds what he's capable of doing in layout creation. It's a perfect balance, which might not result in the flashiest, most technically impressive layouts, but they're perfect for what he looks to accomplish in the editor, and I think that's all you should really strive to be. Another piece of advice that I have is to not worry so much about making the perfect project on your first try. Everyone is going to try new things, experimenting, and we're all going to stumble for the first few weeks or even months. That's expected. There's not a single high-level creator that I've spoken to that is confident in their abilities to make a great 2.2 project right away. And I'm with them there. It'll take time. Once the update is out, I will be trying my hardest to get videos out and stream as much as I can in order to help you all with your progression and learning the new editor. I don't say this as a self-advert though, hands up. I obviously would appreciate if you did stick around for that, but that's not my point here. I more so mean that I'm going to be learning all of this with you. The best creators in my eyes are the ones who have learned every corner of the editor and use it to its fullest. The Zender Games, Darwins, and Kuliks in our community. Personally, I'm not there yet. However, over the years I've been playing the game, I've learned quite a lot. And once this update comes out, I want to be transparent with you guys on how much this update actually is offering us. Because we have to realize that, yes, we've been waiting for over 6 years for this update, but that inversely also means that we're now getting 6 years of developed content for this update. So take your time and digest it at your own pace. Now, look, a few months back, I made a video talking about 2.2 and how it was going to be the downfall of Geometry Dash, and I'm honestly kind of embarrassed that I made that video, although I do think that there were some good points and conversation to be had about it. In reality, I could not be more excited for this update. And as much controversy that has happened because of it, like the delays, the Hertz issues amongst top players, the lack of communication, I think the community will really come to love what this update has to offer. So to send this video off, I'm gonna give you all one last piece of advice, and I separated this from the rest for a reason. Enjoy your time above all else. Be excited, find new styles, come up with brand new ideas, continue to be creative and passionate about creating in this game. 2.2 opens up the editor to do so much more than we ever have. You can create entire worlds, tell stories, make complex video games inside of this video game. Trust me, the last thing that you want to be doing when going into this update is stressing out about being the best. So the update will be here any day now. In the meantime, I'll continue making videos like these and being around while we wait. If you'd like to chat with me, join voice calls, and even get advice for some of your own work, then join our Discord server in the description. It's called the Penthouse. We do events, host movie nights, and are even going to do some Geometry Dash tournaments soon after 2.2 launches. It's going to be a great time. And just a side note, we also have a YouTube channel where we play a ton of different variety games and have a great time. So go subscribe to that. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But I do want to ask you all one question. What's the first thing that you're going to be doing once 2.2 comes out? Talking amongst peers and other creators, it seems like everyone either has like one really cool idea they want to commit to, or have like infinite ideas that they just want to test out when the update comes. So I'm interested. Personally, and I think this is kind of a hot take, I'm just excited to try out the new main levels. Like the last time I opened up GD and played the new main level, I was 15 years old, and now I'm almost 22. Like, that's crazy to think about, you know? So I'll try to read and respond to as many comments about that as I possibly can. But yeah, anyway, I've got to go. I would like if you like, and even subscriber, share button, also there.
I'm just trying to find my way back to you.